Content warnings for Fair Omens include betrayal, blood, death, deceit, drugs, gang violence, gore, horror, murder, and supernatural violence.
Hello everyone, welcome to Fair Omens. This is a 5-shot City of Mist limited series. Let's introduce everyone at the table. I'm so sorry. All right. Yeah, we'll start off with Drac. Hi Drac, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm very excited for today. Finally.
Yeah, finally. Have you ever played City of Mist before?
Yes, funny enough, the other time I played City of Mist was on this very channel for API month. I played in, what was it? Oh, what was it called? The Benevolent, wow.
Banana event?
Benevolent. Benevolent. No, the game ran by the Incredible Kai. I have played in City of Mist before, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm very excited to play in a more extended format. But yeah, I made a very messy character, a very weird character, a community manager, if you will.
Community
I'm very excited to play them. Community manager.
Community manager, yes. Excellent. Well, why don't you tell us about who you are, where we can find you, all the good stuff.
Yeah, I'm Drac, or Draconics. You can find me on Twitter and all other socials at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQUES. I use he, they pronouns. And I do TTRPG stuff. I do actual play production, performing, I do TTRPG writing, all of that good stuff. Anything and everything TTRPG related, I am doing or will be doing. But today, what I'm doing is playing City of Mist with this incredible lot and live.
So if you would like to give Liv like weapons,
What do you mean
and,
Liv? It's
like,
me.
powers and like the ability to kick Drac's ass, exclamation point missed for more information about that. We have some chat incentives, ways that you can get interacting with our show, with our game, helping us. Why did it say chicken place socks? What the heck? Anyway, check out that link there. We'll talk more about that a little later, but thanks, Drac. I'm so excited to play with you. Like, genuinely.
Me too.
Emma, hi.
Hi, it's me, Emma. How's it going?
Good. Emma is one of my very closest, very best friends, and we kind of have like a rivalry going on right now, trying to watch One Piece, and like, I think Emma's winning right now.
I believe I am.
Yes. Okay. I'm trying
I'm
to
on
catch
episode 520 something.
Yeah, you're ahead of me. Dang it. Anyway, is this your first time playing City of Mist?
It is. My incredible spouse Piper plays City of Mist a lot and loves City of Mist a lot, but I've never played it. This is the first. I'm here for a fun time and to be confused this first session maybe a little bit, but it'll be great. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Please feel free to ask questions. I'm going to ask so many questions. I have never played City of Mist either, so yep. Have fun with that, Alex.
Iconic.
Hell yeah, let's go.
We're going to skip Alex. Oh, sorry. Right,
I was just going to say really fast that I'm playing Charles, a barista, also a community manager without the quotation marks. So yeah, fun little things. I use they them pronouns, and you can find me at Emma Panada at all the places where I'm at.
Can you tell us about this really cool thing that you made?
The thing that I'm making is All the Witches. It's a TTRPG about witches and things. It's a lot of fun. It's incredible. It's not finished yet. We've had some unfortunate delays and then some more delays that I get to announce fun in tomorrow in a Kickstarter update. But things are moving along. We're keeping going. We're nearing the end. The finish line is in front of us. And I'm so excited to finally have this done and send it out and get everybody else to play it.
Yes. And if you want to see some gameplay of All the Witches, we do have some on our YouTube. It is kind of old now because we did
It
play.
is old.
very,
Things
very
have been
early.
updated a lot in the rules.
Yeah, but if you want like a general vibe, I think it'd be an
Yeah.
okay place to start. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. We're gonna skip Alex for now, but we will get back to you. And we'll go to the very lovely, magnificent Liv. Hi.
You're muted,
You're
Liv.
muted.
So I think you should give me the clues and the juice just for that.
I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna cut the stream. It's over for me. It's done. It was weather 1 week, technical difficulties this week, and maybe the technical difficulties are me. Maybe they are just me, but whatever. Anyway, hi everybody. It's your girl, it's your pal, it's the cutest person on the internet that you know at the very least. My name is Liv. I use she, they pronouns. Okay, second cutest. I forgot Stella's here.
No, that was me saying yes. You're cute. I'm not trying to take that from you. What?
What if I gave it to you?
Hey, yo.
What's happening here?
Anyway. Hi. Most likely to steal your girl. Anyway, jokes aside, but my name's Liv. I use she, they pronouns. You can find me online at Liv in a Day. I am an actual play performer, TTRPG enthusiast, and part-time menace. I think those are the things that I usually do on the internet. That's
Part-time.
full-time for you, bestie. It's a volunteer position, actually. And I will be playing a cabaret singer. We didn't give names yet, right? You all can. They're there.
Yeah, you can see them. But
They're
I
on the
didn't
screen.
give them names.
You can
Yeah.
see them. It's a mystery.
Name,
You don't actually
name
know.
and bio, okay? Oh yes, and as Chat mentioned, the #1 Challengers enthusiast. I am the 2019 New Rochelle Challengers champion, as presented by Phil Stuyerstown.
I still haven't watched it. I need to watch it.
Don't talk to me.
Oh my god.
Have you played City of Mist before?
I have played City of Mist before. I've played a decent amount of City of Mist. And I'm gonna play a lot more in the future. But my first campaign on Twitch, because I am now in my 6th year of TTRPG content creation. I realized that yesterday was pretty wild. But the first thing that I did on Twitch was a 1.5-year-long City of Mist campaign with Total Party Chills under the table, as ran by Keith Asada, our very good pal. We love Keith over here.
Yeah, weird Bill Keith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
So I have some experience. I'm rusty though.
we are in good hands. And speaking of good hands,
Are we?
they are attached
Yeah.
to our director, Alex.
Hello.
Look at his good
Hi.
hands.
They're in the shot. It's hard because it's like a little. I can't like wave. I can't jazz hands.
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to do something kind of artistic, so I made the pictures long. And I was like, yo, it
I
means
like
you
it.
can't wiggle. It's like-
Yeah, I was just,
But it
and by
looks so
doing that,
cool.
Stella has bound us tight to these positions.
My posture is going to be wonderful after this series is done.
So don't say anything in chat if you see the cameras wiggle, like me pushing them pixel by pixel to center people. That's gonna be happening because I can't help myself. But hi, Alex.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been prepping a lot.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Alex did a ton of stuff for prep for this, like made like a whole
It's not
freaking
done.
PowerPoint thing with like clickable
Yeah.
cards and pictures.
We love a good picture.
I love pictures. I'm so bad at reading. Why don't you tell us about your experience with City of Mist?
Yeah, of course. Actually, a really fun story is that City of Mist was the first TTRPG that I started playing outside of like traditional 5e, and it was actually the first thing I ever did on Twitch. I'm not really a Twitch streamer, but my good friend Rockets and Pen, good old Fabian over at Bad House, had a running show for a bit that I was DMing for, and it unfortunately never came to a close just because of some scheduling things back in the day. But that was years ago, and I'm back with the vengeance, and this mystery is gonna blow your socks off, like 50 style.
You didn't mention any vengeance in our session 0.
Oh well, this is like personal vengeance for completing a COM series. But
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love City of Mist. I studied cultural anthropology. Mythologies are my thing. I love that stuff. I'm excited.
Excellent. Why don't you tell everyone about who you are, where we can find you?
Yeah, of course. You can catch me at Ghost Chicken RPG. Don't really use social media. Probably should. I'm designing a anti-colonial pirate kind of fantasy game that's looking to set sail somewhere in the next year. It's been a very long, slow process, but life finds a way. So soon enough, that'll be there. I also do a lot of game designing. I do a lot of game testing. I love playing games. I'm really recently into skirmish games. So yeah, Games Workshop. I know they're not great, but Spearhead looks cool, and I like Ideneth Deepkin. So, that's where you can find me. And excited to direct this story for all of y'all.
When you said set sail, I was like, haha, that's a pun. And I heard the ding ding of a dinghy in my head. Did anyone else hear it?
A ding ding?
You know, because
Yeah,
boats,
it
it's a
came
boat
in
thing.
on your mic.
When they ring the
I thought you were like saying like a specific there was a ding ding noise actually happening. I was like ding ding.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It came out.
Oh,
It was
no.
head. We heard it.
Yeah.
Well, hi everyone. I'm Stella Luna. You're watching us live and or over on our YouTube. If you want to see this episode, any previous episodes, future episodes, they will all be uploaded to our YouTube. You head over to youtube.com/StellaLunaTV for that and all of our other previous games, including the game that we all played, plus Piper, who's taking a break, of Fabula Ultima, Our Lives After. So please go check that out. It's
amazing.
Fun. Yes.
We have
Season 2 is gonna be fucking sick.
We have an anime
We haven't
intro.
announced that.
Oh, right. So there's
you
gonna
heard
be
nothing.
Maybe,
They're theoretically, maybe, possibly, depending on how badly you want it.
Yeah.
Correct.
If we get 1,000 retweets on this,
but before we jump on over to our content warnings and into the show, I want to talk a little bit about Mist. You can use !Mist in chat to see our chat incentives. Director, please tell us what juice and clues are.
Yeah, of course. So juice and clues are two mechanical things that exist in the game that are actually derived from making a mechanical roll. Juice is actually used to basically up the ante, change something, add something to the story, basically to make the story as cinematic and awesome as possible. In this case, usually juice can't be banked, and so if you do incentivize for one of our players, they'll be able to bank that juice and use it however they want throughout the narrative as they see fit. Similarly, clues, on the other hand, are given to us when we do investigation checks. It basically allows a player to ask me, the director, a question, and I will answer honestly with the kind of perspective around them. The difference here is that with the incentive, we're using a different rule where the players get to add something into the story, and then I get to add narrative to that beat. So let's say Stella says that there is a very interesting, matchbook. I will give that there's a logo connected to maybe a mafia group in town, and maybe that is tied directly to the overarching narrative. So just to give some players some extra help, because honestly, how good y'all are at mysteries, and my home game, they're terrible at them. So we'll see how this goes.
I'm really bad at puzzles.
No. You don't understand. You've unlocked Secretary Liv. You haven't played with Secretary Liv before, but the reason I don't take notes in every game is because when I do take notes in a game, it's fucking serious.
Yeah.
Well, if you figure out the mystery, no spoilers for us in the team.
I was one of the art producers for Eldritch Disco, and the moment of any seedlings of clues or mystery sewed into the game, Liv was on it.
raving notes. Those notes were unhinged. Those notes were. I went full conspiracy board for a full mystery on one scrap of paper.
Let's go. That's the
I
energy I
love
like to
that.
hear. Yeah.
Incredible.
Liv, carry us through this mystery game.
I'll carry you wherever you want to go. I'll carry you over the threshold.
Okay, so we're going to start the show. Please enjoy the show. Waving at
Thank
the
you,
camera.
everybody.
Yep.
Content warnings for Fair Omens include betrayal, blood, death, deceit, drugs, gang violence, gore, horror, murder, and supernatural violence.
Our film opens on a rainy evening in a bustling city known as New Serenity. If you've ever chased a dream, if you ever wanted more, the New Serenity is that picturesque town of glitz and glam. My story, however, starts here, but not in the overcrowded gray lathered streets that connect the different metropolitan hubs of the city's beating body. It starts in the stuffy back room of this god-forsaken building surrounded by a bunch of strangers speaking on my brother's death. Why did he even come here? What secrets was he hiding from me? And can these people really figure out who actually killed him? The scene returns to the back room of the House of Fair Omens. Surrounded by a collection of new strangers, Sarabeth Garcia stands slumped across a table, her posture a bit broken. Her makeup isn't the best that it's been in recent weeks, and she's kind of wearing whatever she has, the last of her laundry. She looks out at 5 individuals she's barely met, and they're now talking about things she's never even heard of. Okay, can we please roll it back? My brother died, not because of some thing in the news out, not some gang violence. You have to believe me. She looks out, her blonde hair, she parts, kind of making eye contact to someone wearing this very nice red emblazoned jacket of sorts. I don't know who's in charge here, but can you all help me, or to some degree? Anyone in the room? Anyone in the chat? We're in it, guys. I know that was
Oh,
the
we're
transition.
in the room.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
No. Okay. From the top.
From the top.
Do the whole monologue all over again.
Restart.
Yeah. It was just really good. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's chill.
I held my
Honestly, I didn't know
breath.
we were the ones in the room.
No, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, no notes goes. I would not say anything. Wait, what time of day is it again? So sorry.
About nighttime. I would say it's about.
Oh, then yeah, no, I'm fully. I'm here. I'm in. I'm clocked in. I'm locked in. I know that this is an unprecedented time for you, but I promise you that we will do all the very best that we can to help you and get answers for you.
I'm so sorry. What was your name again?
Eileen St. James. It's a pleasure. And she does that thing where she doesn't actually shake your hand. She puts it, like presents it.
As you do so, can you describe your character, Eileen?
Yes, I can. So Eileen is short in stature. She is she's a beautiful woman with a lot to offer. Let's describe her body shape that way. Very curvy, very plush. She has long, very like silken hair that is, as of right now, very, very dark, like blue black dark, not just black. It's a very, very deep color. Her skin is a rich, warm tone with vitiligo spread across it in varying shades. Some much lighter, some a little bit lighter. And then she also has birthmarks and freckles. Like there's a lot of just visual texture to her skin as well. She is modestly but stylishly dressed. There's definitely a bit of a conservative lean to her clothing as it is right now, but you look and you can see that everything is as nice as it could seem. She's put on her very best to at least meet this person in front of her right now. Yeah. Oh, and then she has eyes that are a very light, eerie brown. I say brown, but the more you look at them, you're like, is that like almost like a hazel, like a gold? It's a very bizarre eye color, I would say.
Absolutely gorgeous. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Sarah Beth kind of looks towards you. Thank you. I mean, my brother of a few months back was coming here every so often. I'm not really sure why. He said if anything ever happened, I should come to the house. But he said to meet someone named Marco, but I think someone earlier outside mentioned he was out of town.
Yeah, he's out right now. You hear from behind Eileen, you see Akachi Duru, as they kind of push off of the wall they're leaning up against, barely holding themselves up straight. They seem to hold themselves as if they're constantly sleepy. They stand about 6 foot, 6'1", round the board of lean and lanky. You can go either way and it'd be a fairly accurate description. They have long shoulder length dreads tied up in a half up, half down style. Round rimmed shades with tinted blue lenses to hide his eyes. If you look closely though, you can see that they're brown and a little bit tired behind them. And they seem to be missing something. You can't gauge what, you can't really put your finger on it, but it's something odd about the way they look at everyone around them. They have a scar going down their right eye, sorry, and right now a jacket, or they're wearing a windbreaker jacket that goes from almost a gradient of black to red up top. And on the back of that jacket, or rather not red, kind of a burnt orange red up top. And on the back of that jacket is a side profile of like a silhouette of a wolf howling. And underneath that, emblazoned in it, is the words, the Ochre Hounds. And this man, Akachi, kind of holds himself, despite holding himself like they're tired, holds himself as if they have nothing to worry about. As if anything, everything has to worry about him. And they step forward to stand by Eileen. Can you give us the details about this one more time? I'll be honest. I'm sorry to assume that it was gang violence, but it does sound gang related. Or maybe we're missing something here. Can you tell us anything else?
Yeah, of course. Just to recount again, it happened about maybe 2 weeks ago. He was found. I didn't get to see until they did more of the kind of cleanup afterwards at the morgue. But he supposedly was attacked in the back streets of Myriad Crossing. The police dubbed it an act of violence of murder, but doesn't sound right. I mean, it just something like that happening in Myriad Crossing. 1 is just out of the question, but 2, I mean, that wasn't the life. I mean, that wasn't the life he lived.
Did your brother tell you everything? he did? Was he always upfront with you?
Yeah, I mean, we're like this. I mean, ever since our parents passed, he gave up everything. I mean, he was a part of a gang once, but that was before I was like 5 or something like that, 6. I mean, he works at one of the largest medical corps in town. We live in University Row. I mean, it's just so out of the ordinary.
Sorry, I was just to double check for my notes.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that her brother was visiting the Enigma Lounge.
No, was in Myriad Crossing, just like
Myriad
she does.
Crossing,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Nothing
Listening for
specific,
keywords.
Yeah, no worries.
At the mention of having been in a gang, Thursday kind of shifts uncomfortably. I think it's the kind where it's like their boot kind of squeaks on the floor at an inopportune time, and there's just some kind of loud creak as they're just adjusting where they're standing. Thursday looks to be about just shy of 6 foot tall, pretty built, muscular, feminine person who has long red hair and is actually a bit greasy in their presentation. They've got some smudges on their face. They've got dirty nails. You can see that there's oil or grease or something caked underneath it. And they've got a heavy belt on around their hips. And there's a number of tools there. It looks like they just got off work or something. They made their way here and they just look uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, he started acting a bit odd these last couple of months. Going out later at night. Started spending more time at work. He's usually at home by like 5 usually. Goes to bed by like 10:30. Is out the door to work by like 5 a.m. He's pretty regimented, and it just feels so out of the ordinary that he would be in Myriad Crossing randomly so late at night. You see her kind of slink deeper into the table/chair that's in the corner of this space. She kind of sits down and grabs a cup of water that was poured for her previously from someone at the House of Fair Omens.
I think we see Charles step forward a little bit alongside the others. Charles looks extremely tired because he is extremely tired. He smells of beans and coffee, roasted, kind of wafting off of him. His clothes are clean, but we can see that he has pretty shaggy blonde hair that's like gelled back to look fancier and more well-kempt than he actually is right now. He's got some pink suspenders on, and just kind of looks towards Sarah Beth very compassionately. I got to meet Marco a few times over
Isaac. Marco's the proprietor.
Isaac, right. I got to meet Isaac a few times over the past few months. He seemed like a good guy, but you said he used to be in a gang and that he's been busy again recently. Not necessarily with the gang or anything, but staying out late. Do you remember what he was involved in and what group he was with?
I mean, he barely ever talks about it, but he told me to never bring it up, so at least I know the name. The gang was known as Eternal Rain, but
Thursday looks uncomfortable again.
Sorry.
Ikachi looks over their shoulder at Thursday at this as well.
This isn't really my area. Charles kind of looks towards Thursday and Ikachi. Do you two know anything about them?
Thursday conveniently takes a cup of water and just drinking so they don't have to talk.
Do I know anything about them?
Yeah, of course. Also in the room, as I had mentioned, there were 5 people. As a tall, lanky individual, has darker hair, these bright blue eyes. You, Akechi, and you, Thursday, would know this is Danny. Danny had actually found Cerebeth kind of snooping around the outside of the House of Fair Omens, which is what got you all into this scenario. And Danny kind of looks at you, Akechi, and just goes, "Wait, boss, that's... I mean, I was like in middle school when they disbanded, but I heard they were pretty horrible. Yeah. And you would know that Eternal Reign, Akechi, was a very large gang that ran in the South Side. About a decade back, if not 15 years back, they had a pretty predominant streak in the South Side, and they were known to be pretty violent across the board. They stayed in their territories usually, and they clashed with other gangs, Fearmongers being one of them, things like that. But as mentioned by Danny, the gang did disband, and most of their members either left New Serenity or joined other gangs about 5 years back. So right around when you formed Ochre Hounds, etc. So
yeah. Akechi kind of, I think they first watch Thursday for a moment. Just a split second. I was almost like scanning over the expression.
Thursday is just making eye contact at you. Kind of like, you can tell that Thursday is sizing you up, trying to see how much you know. They don't say anything.
They were a bit before my time. I was still in university when they were really at their peak. But I have had a pretty rough group, pretty rough gang. Definitely would have put a run for our money if they were still around. That's for sure. But they disbanded, quite a while ago.
Good riddance.
But honestly, I agree, Thursday. They were bad. But I wouldn't be surprised if some still around. Maybe again, sorry to assume that it's gang related, but it does seem to add up. You never really leave.
I mean, he always told me that he paid his pound of flesh and that we were safe. I mean, nothing ever seemed out of sorts. He was comfortable walking in the South Side, downtown, Myriad Crossing. Kind of just takes a deep sigh. She seems pretty frustrated across the board.
Of course. And it's been a long time, seemingly, since this gang was around, and perhaps even longer since your brother was a part of it. You seem pretty hell-bent on it not being anything to do with the gang. Besides just the fact that your brother hasn't been involved in quite some time, is there anything else that leads you to believe that it's not gang affiliated?
I don't have any hard facts. I don't, and I think that's why I came here. I would have gone anywhere else, honestly, if I had to. This was just on a whim. Maybe about 6 months ago, he started staying at work for 2, 3, 4 hours longer, working on a big project of some sort, and then he started going out afterwards, day in, day out, showing back up at maybe 4 or 5 a.m. Never really smelt like alcohol or anything like that. Didn't seem to be out partying, at least to my understanding. Never seemed roughed up or harmed or in any form of, violence had occurred.
Did home with anything? Any boxes, bag?
Anyone?
No people. He usually keeps to himself. He's honestly pretty hell-bent on work. If anything, just more documents from the house. I mean, our apartment has boxes upon things now. He started bringing homework, which is something he never really did over the course of my schooling.
Would you be comfortable if we sometime come and take a look through those boxes, see if there might be anything relevant?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's perfectly valid. more than willing, if you all want to head in that direction later this evening. I know it's still raining out, but we could check out the space. But I just don't know what to do.
I think Charles looks towards Eileen at the news of this going into further into the evening to see how she's responding, if she was thinking of performing tonight or like what's going on.
Yeah, you see Eileen kind of like wince a little bit at the idea of staying late, but listen, I can make things work. There's, there, there's understudies for a reason. It's fine.
Charles nods. Yeah, that sounds great. Now, did your brother have any close friends at work? Anybody that you met or heard about, or maybe somebody he was seeing?
No one I knew he was seeing. He talks about his partner a lot. They work in a science lab, basically. He's a pharmaceutical scientist. His first name's Janik. I don't remember his last name, honestly. But they both work at Air Medical Group. It's one of the largest pharmaceutical conglomerates in New Serenity.
Now, is this strictly a business partner or potentially a romantic partner as well?
I believe strictly business. I think they were assigned on a project together of some sort. Working on some form of panacea. They joke about it all the time. Janik's never come over to the house, but my brother talks about him. He has a photo with him at the house, the apartment.
You said that your brother joked about it being a panacea. In what way?
Some form of cure-all. I mean, that's what the word means, right? I don't...
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. It's not really what... Supposedly, and I'm no pharma scientist, but it has to do with how she kind of looks and she's trying to recall. She kind of picks at her fingers a little bit. For transplants, for like organ donations and things along those lines.
Oh, okay. So it's not just gets rid of headaches and tummy aches. It's a serious thing.
Yeah, it's supposedly to help with the I remember it started with a T. I'm forgetting it. But it's supposed to help with like the transition of the organs as they acclimate to the new body, supposedly. But
Impressive.
I do want to ask. This is all incredible information, and thank you for giving it to us, and thank you for letting us go and look through things later. But how are you? And do you feel safe where you're staying right now? Because if not, we can easily provide you with some temporary shelter while we're dealing with all this and you're dealing with your brother's affairs.
honestly, I think that's the one thing I didn't really want to mention. I think it's my mind's playing tricks on me, just given the rainy weather we've been having here in town recently. But when I walk home from class, or ever since I had to start going down to Myriad Crossing to the morgue, I just feel like things are watching me. Maybe it's just...
Look, it's a good
Never mind.
instinct. It's better to be aware of that than just ignore it. Caution is a good path. Keep you alive, will keep you out of trouble. You want one of us to look over you? You can stay here, probably. Or if you want, you can stay at my shop.
You notice Sarah Beth's brows kind of furrow. Some of the color leaves from her face, and she just goes, honestly, I don't feel safe at home. If you have a place here, or if you're willing, thank you so much too. That'd be great. I honestly just don't feel safe there. Honestly, I already feel kind of out of place taking you there, but I think if you
your
can
mic
get anything.
cut out.
Oh, cut out?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like whispering. My bad. I need to talk up. If um if you all could provide me housing, I just don't feel safe, and I just don't know if it'll be safe.
There's plenty of room here at the house, and a lot of security and protection along with it. We can make sure you're safe.
Thank you. I can't thank you all enough. She kind of puts her hands up to her face, so she kind of like leans up against the table. She's sitting down now. She looks worn out. She looks tired. It seems like a whirlwind of things, and y'all don't even need to roll for this, but just the pure frustration, I think, emanates from just her being.
Akachi walks up to her and just goes, "Would you like a jelly bean?" and holds out a packet of jelly beans. You can take whatever colors you want.
Oh, sure. She kind of puts her hand into the jelly bean pouch and takes a few out. She doesn't have a specific flavor profile. She's one of the people who like throws like 10 Skittles in her mouth at one time. So she throws all of those in there.
Akachi sees this and just nods. And it does the exact same and throws several in their mouth.
But I mean, do you need any other information? I mean, I'll try to provide as much history or like anything that could help provide some insight. I'm an open book. I'm willing to share whatever you need. But if you prefer, we can just head over to my apartment. Or I can give you the address. She just truly seems for a loss for words.
We can come with you, and you can grab whatever things you need from your apartment, and we can come back with you as well to make sure you're set up and established and taken care of. I did have a couple more questions. You said, how long has he been working for this medical group, and how long has it been since he started staying out later?
He's been working there for almost 10 years now. Maybe 8 to 10. He started in his intern there after during his school days at University Row. In terms of going out and kind of staying later at work, I think he started staying later at work about 6 months back, and then maybe 4 to 5 months ago he started going out late. He just seemed very honestly temperamental. We used to never get into fights, like ever. He basically older brother, basically my dad, and he just seemed very wired, especially 3 or 4 weeks ago. I mean, we talked a little bit, but we got into a lot of fights. At least recently.
I know if Air Medical is in Myriad Crossing.
Yes, you would. I'm not going to make you do an investigation check there. Air Medical Tower is one of the larger skyscrapers in the kind of bustling city center of New Serenity.
Okay. Would I know that the immediate area around it, would it be mostly like commercial? Like, is it mostly the same kind of building, or what's the
it's very
territory
much...
like?
Yeah, of course. Myriad Crossing is think of like Times Square, downtown LA, any major city center. It's filled with like these kind of industrial skyscrapers where major corporations and businesses, especially during this kind of creative revolution as brands become very big in New Serenity, like these large neon signs are emblazoning, lotions that will cure any blemish and all these different things. You would know that it's mostly a combination of those kind of corporate buildings and then some shopping. Not as nice as like downtown and stuff, but there's like some big brand names, selling clothes, new run-of-the-mill items and things like that. I would say, and once again, this is for all of y'all because you've lived in the city, you don't need to do an investigation check. Violence happening like this to a degree normally wouldn't happen in Myriad Crossing. It's surprising, I would say, which is why the news groups have kind of started like pumping out this rhetoric, basically.
So what is the rhetoric? that it was gang
Yeah,
related? Is that
specifically gang related. Akechi, just because you'd be like really on top of this, there's been recently a push for reform, a bit because of this murder. It's being used as a small platform to kind of discuss about like reshaping the city, basically.
Oh, I think this might be all we can get from just asking questions. You might have to head over to your apartment.
You don't
Sure,
have
we
to
can-
come with us if you don't want to. They could be watching, and if they see you and us together, they might even start associating us together. If you're being watched, it might be better if you just stay here. We can just grab whatever you can describe.
Do you guys think that's the best? I mean, I'll defer to you. I'm willing to give you all my keys, and I can give you kind of like a layout of the space here if you'd like. Up to you. If you think a personal hand would be better, I can tag along. I mean, I won't be by myself. I think that's the biggest thing I'm afraid of.
You can tell by the way Thursday broaches this that there's paranoia. There's deep concern that specifically they might be followed.
I'm not.
Go ahead.
And I'm not an expert in this, but if anything, if someone is watching you, they already would have watched you come here, potentially. And if they see that now you have a whole crew of us with you and that you're protected, it might cause them to back off a little. So I don't know that it would hurt. But if you're uncomfortable and you'd rather we set you up with a place to stay already and you just hang here and relax, that's okay too.
If it's okay with y'all, I think it'd be nice if I maybe just spend at least part of the evening here. I've just been on pins and needles for the last basically 2 weeks, and I don't know if I can look at his stuff or she kind of.
While all of this is happening and people are having their back and forth, I do think Eileen like suddenly got up and teetered, like ran on her little tippy toes to the cafe that's in the House of Fair Omens and got her some chamomile tea and one of the pastries left over from this morning, and then comes like running back in and lays it out for her.
She quickly grabs the tea and just warms her hands. You notice her hair's still not dry from being out in the rain. She barely touches the food.
As I watch her,
Hmm?
can I gauge if she is awake?
You can make an investigation check. First roll if you like.
First roll.
First roll.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, insidious. Oh, yes.
I just wanted to say thank you so much to the two people who gave juice. One person gave live juice, and another person didn't specify, so I rolled, and it went to live. The live has
Nice.
Hey everybody! Listen, we all love. Come get y'all juice, okay? Y'all love live juice. I know that for a fact.
Okay, so I wrote investigate.
Yes, correct. So you're going to be rolling 2d6 and then adding any power tags that you think are associated to the scene currently from your playbooks. And then basically between a 7 or a 9, you can choose one of the following questions. And then if you roll, I think it's a 10? No. Yeah. Yeah, and then if you roll a 10 or higher, it's like a solid lead, basically. That's the question.
Are group checks a thing? Can we help at all, or?
There are group checks. I believe it just adds 1 to the power. I'd have to double check that. I'm so sorry. I'm also a little rusty. But if you want to support that, we can also add an additional.
Wait,
And I
what
would
was the question?
Group checks, Liv, off the top of your head.
Ooh. I think the closest thing that we get to group checks is that one of us can try to change the game And by changing the game, we are able to give our party mates juice.
Okay.
Got it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so you roll to support is basically the way it works here.
Yeah.
Very PBTA.
Yeah.
Let's see if I have anything. I realize my character is the muscle and not the brains.
So
I mean,
we're go ahead.
I will use could I use supportive population in the sense that I know most of, not everyone, but I know a lot of people in the city, and if I've heard anything related to the mist to this person and maybe this family as a whole.
Allow it, but also Charles, were you going to interject with something as well?
I was gonna say that I've met Isaac a couple of times, and I helped kind of like connect him to the House of Fair Omens, and so there's the potential that maybe I heard something about his family.
Okay. Can you still roll a catchy? And then I will do a dual information drop here, because one's tied more to lore, because you have some backstory with that, giving you a roll at the House of Fair Omens, and then this roll also will be useful as well.
7. Exactly.
Oh, nice. Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you can also choose. So what is your question to me as the MC, and I will answer it.
How much of the mist have they knowingly experienced?
Okay, so I'm going to answer both of y'all's kind of approach together here. So first, Charles, you would know that Isaac awoke, X months back, when he, started to gain his powers and such. But he had said multiple times that he wanted to protect his sister, and that his sister would know nothing about this. So it was assumption there that she was not awoken, basically, and she, at least up until when he left the House of Fair Omens, he also never gave any information in terms of her being related to kind of things behind the veil and things behind the mist. Now, I will say, to answer your question, Ketchy, you actually have heard from Marco previously, is that in very dire situations for people who are very connected, whether it be a partner, a sibling, a family member, when they are kind of pushed in a very traumatic scenario, they might not be awoken or awaken, but they may have the ability to see past the thinnest veil of the sight to get answers to kind of close out what's happened to their the person in their life. So the fact that you kind of can garner some of this, the fact that they made their way to the House of Fair Omens pretty quickly, they seem pretty stable in the space generally. They might be tied to that to some degree.
I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
You're good.
So he started staying out a number of months ago. Does that timeline correspond with when he awoke?
Yes, actually, it does. So you definitely know for a fact that part of the time where he would come through is after work. But that was only for about an hour, maybe. Isaac was pretty well grounded, and his ability wasn't too bombastic. It was light manipulation of plants and things. So he didn't spend too much time at the House of Fair Omens generally.
Okay.
You just give us the keys, the address. You can stay here. We'll have some people watch your room, and just let us know what things you want us to bring back for you.
Okay. Maybe just a set of clothes for maybe a week, if that's okay, if I can stay here, or maybe even a few days. I mean, it's up to y'all for how long I stay here.
Stay here as long as you need. We'll figure things out as we go.
Thank you. And she kind of hands over 2 sets of keys. You see one. Interesting enough, one of the keys that she hands over has a house key. It has a mailbox key, and it has a kind of keychain that is of a mic, like a traditional singing mic. And then the second set of keychains is 3 keys. One is a key that looks similar to the house key. One is like a mailbox key, and the third key, sorry, not the key. The third object is what looks to be like a key card, actually. On inspection, it does say Air Medical Group. So
Akachi takes it, puts it in his pocket, and then pulls out another packet of jelly beans and sets it down on the counter by her. Just goes, a new study shows that sugar has some soothing properties, so hopefully this helps.
A smile creeps across her face. She lets out the first semblance of joy, and she kind of just goes, thanks. She hands over the address as well. If you have any questions, please just let me know. Just a few days of clothes would be more than enough. His office is left unlocked, but you have more than enough reign to go through whatever you want. And if anyone in the building provides you any problems, you could just give me their name. We've been living in that place for years. So
Okay.
Sounds good.
I pull out my phone. Could I get your number? Just in case.
Yeah. She hands you a fake number. Beep boop beep boop beep boop beep beep beep.
Yeah. And then I immediately text her and I say, there, you have my number too. If there's any trouble, just ring me, text me, I'll answer.
Okay, thank you. I seriously cannot thank you. I can't thank you all enough. When I went down to the station, they just kind of hand waved me. Something just doesn't feel.
Can't expect much from the cops.
I know. It's just something doesn't feel right. I just feel it in my gut.
I say
But if
trust that instinct.
Thank you. Should I talk to someone to give me a room?
Yeah, and Charles will kind of take her and introduce her to whoever oversees housing. Will also be if you get hungry or you need anything, you can call this number, order whatever you want and just tell them to charge it to Charles. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. You'll take her out of the room. You introduce her quickly to Luther Bomba, the kind of main house manager of the House of Fair Omens in terms of people coming through. He sets her up on the second floor, and gets her kind of acquainted to the space quickly. You have total faith and trust in Luther. He's one of the oldest members here at the House of Fair Omens. So
while they're gone, Eileen is going to elbow Thursday and be like, wow, anything to protect her, huh? You're so strong and reliable, Thursday.
Thursday turns completely red, coughs extremely loudly, and says, I'll get the car ready. And walks out.
Boss, should I stay here and guard? What's the vibe here? Can I ride along?
Wait, hold on. Who does Danny
Yeah,
look at
exactly.
when he says boss?
I think I kind of like the idea we both turn to answer.
We both
if you're
turn
cool
at
with
the
that.
same
You
time.
turn at the door.
Yeah?
So, not my day job, boss. Boss, once at Thursday, and it turns to you, Akechi.
Wow, Thursday walks out. Thursday is just gone.
Jack laughs, but Akachi doesn't. Yeah, if you could do me a favor, just you have Emily's number, second in command. Just let them know that I'm going to be busy. They should take. They can make any decisions that need to come to me. She's more than intelligent enough to deal with that. And
Okay.
yeah, I think I'd like you to stay here. Just keep an eye out, just in case.
All right, sounds good. I think that's good. I'll let you know if anything happens, and like you said, I'll keep on leading the rest up to date.
Sounds good.
Be
Thank
safe
you,
out
Dan.
there.
Trust me, I'll keep them safe.
He chuckles, and that's why I call you the boss. And he steps out and kind of quickly looks around and heads upstairs.
So wait, that means that Akechi and Eileen are the only people in the room, right?
Technically speaking, yes, unless Charles heads back in.
Eileen starts
Wait, is
nudging Akechi. Wow, you're so big and strong and protective. Wow.
Yeah, I am. That's my job. I'm not as easy to fluster as Thursday over there.
I know. But a girl can try.
How are you doing, by the way? I feel like this is a departure from your shows.
It is. But I'm tough.
I have a feeling we're gonna need that. Where's Charles?
I lean my head out and yell, Charles!
I'm coming. Just give me 2 minutes.
Take 3, darling.
Thank you.
I
Then, yeah.
will put my hood and head out into the rain.
As you all kind of step out of the back room of the House of Fair Omens, passing through kind of the main bar area, Thursday is already outside, prepping their car to head out into the evening. Charles, what are you doing? Before a quick interjection from an NPC at the house catches you all off guard.
Charles, I imagine it took more than a few minutes while everybody else was kind of talking just then and going out to the car and stuff to set Sarah Beth up with everything.
Mhm.
So Charles was largely dealing with that and then started coming back.
Okay, no worries. As Eileen and Akechi start making their way out, and Charles kind of heading down the stairwell as well, you three notice someone that you've seen pretty commonly around the space. You see Penny Vo, head accountant of the House of the Fair Omens, sometimes known as the Collector, collecting payments and dues and things along those lines. Penny kind of looks out and kind of hollers quickly at Akechi, her black hair kind of emblazoned on the bar as she's sitting. Akechi, she slides down a folio full with some papers and some information that's been printed out. Marco left some notes before he headed out of town. Given the fact that the proprietor's out, I just want to let you all know that I might be able to get you out of some trouble if things turn south, but be a little wary too. We have some pull in the city, but Marco being out of town is a little dicey.
Don't worry, we'll stay out of trouble. And if not, we'll beat the trouble into submission.
I like the gumption. Make it back safe. If y'all need anything, let me know. Send me a text. I'll get anything prepared for you all. But be safe out there. Take a look at the notes. Marco did a lot of research, honestly. I don't even know how he got that information. I was surprised. So.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt that. Not much of a reader. I'm gonna give it to Thursday. And they walk with the portfolio towards the car.
Yeah, sure. So you step out into the outside. The rain is pouring in the back streets of the First Ward. You see Thursday prepping the car. The folio has been handed over.
What's this?
Some of the notes Marco made on, I'm assuming this case, probably a bit more detail that our friend couldn't give us.
Oh,
Most likely misrelated.
all right. And when Thursday takes it from you, it's a little bit of attitude. Not super rude, but also not two hands and gentle. A little snappy.
Yeah. I don't think Akachi notices.
Okay.
Akachi's completely oblivious to it. As they is your car
Yes.
I mean, is it
So
raining? Okay, yeah, describe it.
So, yeah, when you come outside, you can already see that Thursday's leaning up against the car waiting. And the Thursday's car is a really thick, super noticeable muscle car. You can see that the top is detachable, but it is a hard top, and it is currently on to keep the rain out. It is mostly black in color, but you can see that there have been odd paint jobs on the sides, and they are kind of like Thursday's tattoos. They're kind of like colorful and vibrant towards the bottom. That way, if like there was like an aerial view of the car, it's not noticeable. It just looks like every other car. There is something very odd about the body of the car, though. It seems a lot heavier than normal, and the back seat is very, very, very small. So it'll be cramped if you have someone back there.
But luckily, you fit 4 up front, right?
Nope.
Right?
Someone's
yell,
gonna be
shotgun.
real-
Wait, so I can't sit in the back seat.
You can. There's space for all of you, but your knees will definitely hit. What?
I popped into the passenger seat.
Thursday will open the back seat door for you, Eileen, and then gestures in.
Thank you. No, I do walk for it, and I do say thank you as I climb in as ladylike as I possibly can.
Thursday closes the door and then looks at Charles, kind of like that look of like, do you want me to walk around the car and open the door for you?
No, I've got it.
All right.
Don't be careful with those notes. Don't read and drive.
Thursday kind of helplessly looks at them and then offers to give them to you.
Kind of like he's so exhausted, but he takes the notes, and then we'll head over to the other side of the car.
I'll pop in, and Akechi, you being in front, you see that the car doesn't just take a key. You see that Thursday puts their whole like pointer finger into a slot in the side, and then it seems to activate somehow.
Damn. Finger in your car in front of me? Wow. Whoa.
I literally was like, you gotta finger blast your car.
Yo.
Look. Wait, do we
Even
make
Oscar
eye
was
contact?
thinking it.
Are we making eye contact while I do this?
I catch he's looking directly in your eyes and not flinching.
Okay, Thursday's also not flinching, and you just hear like the like a really thunderous rolling purr. That was a really bad sound, but just imagine something really impressive, like 100 diesel horsepower jet fuel.
You're
I don't
just
know.
throwing words out there.
I don't know
I don't
car
think
shit.
100 diesel means
Nitro.
Hit that nos,
nitro
you know?
in it. Yeah.
Familia.
It's about family.
It's got that sort of, like family type roar. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It sounds expensive and cool, and like, you know, like it sounds like Thursday's a car babe. Okay, Stella's not a car babe. I don't fucking know. But yeah, are you impressed? You look impressed.
Akachi kind of leans. Okay, before I describe this, with the address we've given, how long of a drive would this be?
About 20 minutes. You have to drive through out of the first ward into Myriad Crossing, into Uptown, and then into University Row. So,
Okay. Yeah, I think 20 minutes is enough. They will kind of, as the car revs to life, there doesn't seem to be any expression on their face. They don't seem uninterested. It generally seems, I think Akachi is a tired. They carry themselves as if they're tired constantly. So even their expressions seem to be like dulled a little bit. And they just kind of nod slightly and then turn and then look out the window and then I think try to sleep. Just
Oh my
immediately
god, is
waking up when
everyone
you
in
get
the
there.
car going to sleep because everyone's so fucking tired all the time?
No, Charles has reading glasses on now. And is
Oh
reading
no.
over some of these
That's what
notes.
y'all think. I do think as we're driving, Eileen is sitting back, relaxing. I think she has her feet in Charles's laps, and is starting to hum as we drive along, sort of staring off into space. And I don't know if there's a role for this, but I am going to be the worst person ever, and I do want to enact one of my tags as we are driving and let one of my powers sort of influence the space and the air of the car.
Don't put everyone to sleep.
Okay.
Immediately sneeze while
Crash the
driving,
car.
What are you trying to do? And then we might come up with a player move, or.
I mean, I think it'd be funny if I accidentally made everybody fall asleep.
Why would drive? Okay, I'm here for the drama. I'm here for it.
My car can take it. It's fine.
Okay. That would be.
I'm a young, freshly awoken person. I'm not very good at this thing.
Honestly,
Jigglypuff head ass. Yeah, Austin. Yeah.
Damn it! You can't. You guessed my identity already.
Hey y'all,
We're gonna wake up with mustaches drawn on our faces.
You want to save us from potentially crashing the car, which is one of my theme books. It's literally 25% of my character. If you want to save us, check out the mist link there. You can potentially save us with some juice, maybe some clues.
I don't have to do this.
You do it. I love it.
If you want to do it, do it. You have
Yeah,
two options. I'll give you the options because this doesn't fit like a normal player move. You can change the game and roll with your power and get a juice, and then you can spend it to create a story tag, which the story tag would be you all fall into a lull, which would be dangerous.
I was gonna say well rested, alert, because we don't have to sleep.
Or you could take another option is you could take a risk, and we could see how that kind of plans out too. Because I feel like
risk fits it.
It's kind of in both, because I guess my question to you, Eileen, is this happening are you doing this intentionally, or is it unbeknownst as you're kind of doing your own thing?
I think it's unbeknownst. I think that I am. This is a little. We're about to go. I do think I'm going to have it change the game. I do think this is an accident, but Eileen is a musical person. She tends to sing and stuff, and I mean, she isn't singing right now, but just giving us a little bit of ambiance as we're going along. It happens naturally. It's something that she does. It's her natural state of being. And the goal, I think, is to just make everybody a bit more relaxed, because this is a high intense situation. We are investigating a murder. So I think that I am changing the game. I actively am using one tag. The fact that I am a singer. I just think Eileen is accidentally using another tag, but Liv, the person, knows what I'm doing. So I'm giving myself 2 power for this change the game tag.
Okay. Roll for it, and let me see what you get.
Okay. Wait, that is the wrong one. So I'm going to use Sand of Sleep and Working Late because I'm a singer for Change the Game.
Heck yeah.
Wait, no, did I do that right? I did.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, cool. I got a 8 result.
Oh, an 8. Okay, so you gain the following. So you gain 2 juice because it equals to your power as well, and then you could spend them 1-to-1 on one of the following things. So to create a story tag, burn a power tag, give or reduce a status. So your call if you want to give the status to everybody that they're asleep or sleepy, and then you can also give a story tag that will affect the group later on. That is like a beneficial thing, like serene or something like that, or calm or well soothed. So up to you if how you want to create those.
I think the story tag serene is really good.
Okay.
Can I make? Okay, so can I make Charles and Akachi fall asleep, but not Thursday?
Sure. Just so you don't crash the car. I will allow just for agency's sake, for Charles and Akechi to make what's the word? There is a face danger roll. So
yeah.
Akechi will fall asleep.
I'm just gonna allow it.
Okay, cool. I'm just double checking. I'm just double checking. Okay,
Akechi's
cool.
actively trying to sleep.
Cool.
If he gets some help, he's not going to complain.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. I just want to make sure.
Can we type the tags and stuff that are going to activate into the Roll20 chat so we have like a log?
Serene,
Yeah, I'm
right?
gonna put story tag Serene. There you go.
And basically for the rest of the evening, y'all can use the Serene tag to provide any power to your rolls, basically, as long as it makes sense for the scene.
So is that tag on each of us individually, or is it a group thing? Like if one person uses it, it's
Each of you individually.
okay.
So each of you individually.
So you're welcome. That's what I'm hearing.
So you're singing.
Mhm.
Can you tell me about what you're singing?
Ooh, I mean, I don't think it's like any. I think it's better to say that she's vocalizing than like actually singing words. So it's lots of humming with slight notes being sung here and there, but the tone of the music and the theme and the genre very much fits into like a more of a smooth jazzy sort of a tune. I would say that Eileen herself leans more on the mezzo alto range, which if you don't know anything about music, most of the time you're hearing sopranos. So sopranos very high, very top, very like Disney princess. Alto is going to be deeper, lower, typically a bit more like Disney villain. And mezzo is if everybody hates you. Everybody hates you and you're usually typecasted as a sexual person.
Oh.
No, that's I'm a
Yeah.
mezzo.
Yeah.
I'm a mezzo, and all of my songs when I was in theater were about being a whore.
I did choir for 3 years and I was an alto.
Oh, okay, so yeah, you know.
I did choir for 3 years as well. I don't know what I was. I can't remember.
Ooh, I'd probably guess like baritone.
Well, so
These are words that mean nothing to me.
Yeah, I think baritone because Drac has started doing this thing that when he joins a voice call, he makes this like monstrous, like really deep noise.
Wait, I can't remember what it is now. And I'm put in the spot. I can't do it. Damn it! I do it to scare Stella, and I would do it every single time I'm doing a call. But I can't feel the
It's
way
okay.
I'm reaching
Performance
for anymore.
anxiety. It's okay. No,
Yeah,
I understand.
I'm not good of an audience. Usually I am. But,
Yeah. No. Is it sad? Is it?
Yeah, I think most of her songs are fairly sad.
As you're singing, Thursday will look in the rearview mirror at you a couple of times, but doesn't interrupt you. And as we're driving, the only other sound is you hear like the latent purring of the engine, and then the wiping of the wipers as we're driving. And Thursday is very smooth at driving. Takes the turns very slowly. Definitely noticing that they're sleeping passengers and just lets them rest.
And as you listen to this somber song, as you drive through the streets of New Serenity, you pass through the first ward, the oldest part of the town, as people are walking home after their daily shifts. As you kind of ride onto the highway that leads up to Myriad Crossing, you unfortunately have to pass through Myriad Crossing in the evening as the main roads between Uptown and the first ward are closed off for recent construction. Myriad Crossing is a stark difference from the first ward. Metallic chrome machine, neon lights that emblazon the newest fast food and cure-all creams and the best raincoats in the world. As you pass by a place that you actually spend a lot of time at, Eileen, at the Enigma Lounge, you eventually make your way up the streets and down the roads towards University Row, where the single standing college and university exists here in New Serenity. A more of a smaller town vibe, more spread out buildings. A lot of these houses are either students who currently go to school there or students who were able to afford housing in the area, just small families and things like that who've kind of cropped up around the school itself. The streets are much wider here, and the rain falls heavier here as there's less buildings and slate to slam against. It's dark this evening as you roll up to this tenement house that has multiple apartments associated with it, reading off the address that has been given to you. And before we get to investigating the house, we're going to take a 5 to 10 minute break because we've been going for about an hour and a half. And we'll give ourselves a quick little break to do the things, and then we'll jump right back into it and get to some real investigating.
You're back, everybody.
And we return to University Row as our crew of investigators begin to wake up and exit from Thursday's vehicle. As that happens, I'm going to switch the music real quick.
Are we here?
I fell asleep.
Ooh. We're here, okay. And Akachi will step out of the car and doesn't look any more rested than he was. He just is a tired person, just holds himself like that. You still see them kind of slouching, despite the slouch, still about 6 foot, their hands stuffed in their pockets, hood up over their head as they walk over to these apartments.
Yeah, in front of you, you see a stoop that leads up to what you assume to be like the first floor, not the ground floor of this larger brick building. It actually takes up the entire block. It's just split up into multiple different apartments with multiple floors. Based on the information given to you by Sarah Beth, as you kind of look at the kind of buzzers at the front, you see it leads up to about 5 floors high, their apartment being on the fourth floor.
Is it possible for me to use one of my powers? So I'm familiar with City of Mist.
No worries.
So I have a power tag called Bird's Eye View.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, while we're outdoors, I would like to have basically a bird's eye view and just look at our surroundings. Essentially, like specifically trying to find an escape plan and just a general surveil of the area to have an understanding of what the geography is like.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this case you can do change the game and kind of roll plus power using the specific tags that you have, including the Serenity or Serene tag that we provided to the team from the buff that was provided by Eileen. And then when you do so, you can create a story tag like that you have like a viewpoint or escape route along those lines. So roll 2d6 and then add the story tags and or power tags. You add it up as your power, and then let me know what you get.
Should I just roll it or do I click buttons?
Oh,
Click the boxes next to the tag you're using first.
Okay, so bird's eye view. And then we have Serene.
Mhm.
Would be like a +1.
correct.
Could I also potentially do... Is it nighttime?
It is nighttime. Yep.
Could I do guided by the stars?
Yeah, of course. That makes total sense.
Okay. What else? I think that's it. Yeah. So
Okay.
I have a power of 3.
Yep. So roll 2d6 plus the 3.
So I
Yeah,
had
click
changed the
the-
game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I did it. It's a
What'd you get?
9.
Oh yeah.
It's a 9.
Nice.
Okay, on a hit, you get juice, which equals to power. So you get 3 juice in this case. That can be used in this exact moment instead of being banked. So you can create a story tag, burn a power tag or a story tag, or give or reduce a status 1 tier per point of juice. In this case, I would probably recommend creating multiple story tags to support the team.
Okay.
And so, what would your story tags like to be? That with your ability to view from a bird's eye view. Describe how this looks, or how this power might manifest for you, and then we can kind of walk through the story tag creation.
Okay. So Thursday shuts the car off, gets out, slowly, carefully closes the door, and then looks up at the sky. And the rain's coming down, and it's kind of like a cinematic shot of like these little slivers of light and water cutting through the air. And through Thursday's perception, their eyes kind of go white. You see the irises and the pupils sort of disappear as their eyes start to glow a little. And essentially, it's almost as if flipping a camera upside down. So she's looking up at the sky, and then all of a sudden, it's like they're looking through stars and looking down through the clouds. It's essentially literally a bird's eye view of the area. I would like to create a story tag of prepared.
Okay.
And another story tag of escape route.
Okay, I'll allow it.
And then I'll use the third one to create a story tag of Does anyone have suggestions? Because sorry, I'm new to City Mist. I'm
No,
not
no,
really
no
sure
worries. No
what
worries.
the breadth
You're
of
doing
this
great
would go.
so far. Okay, so you said escape route, prepared.
Maybe head on a swivel.
Yeah, I was gonna say like awareness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, I really like that. Okay, head on a swivel, prepared, and escape route.
You will have those tags, but you can support other individuals on the team by like pointing them out and just supporting them in that regards as you kind of use this ability as well.
Okay, so what do I see?
Yeah, of course, I can just explain that. Sorry. As your ability kind of emanates quickly in the space, you notice that, as I mentioned before, this building is actually one solid building that takes up the entire block. It's just divvied into multiple different like individual buildings, basically. But there's like all the walls are conjoined in that case. You notice at the top of each building, there is like a small little like lip between each houses that, like, you know, if you're on a rooftop party, you could like sit and then like just hop over pretty easily to get to the next roof of the next house, basically. At the top of the building that you're currently on, there is roof access. So there is a way out of the building from the main stairwell onto the roof access, and you can basically run along the entire roof from one end of the street to the other end of the street as necessary. Something that you do notice is that given how the shape of the building is and windows, there's probably only like 2 apartments per floor. And they have direct views of similar rows of buildings across the street on both sides. There's no like backyard really to this building. It's just like an alleyway that leads to another house, and in the front is like the street, and across the street is another set of buildings that look very similar. So it seems to be housing that's kind of like pretty easily built and has been used to house students or like relatives, things like that. So it's basically like a straight shot view. So like if you had your like windows open from both the houses, you could probably see very easily through the from one room to the next, basically, across the way. In terms of things that you see in the back alley, not much actually. Mostly like garbage, like disposal and things like that. Nothing of any, like, you don't see anyone skulking about or anything along those lines. In that regards, you do notice a fire escape on both sides tied to the main windows. So if you needed an additional escape that wasn't in the main kind of stairwell, you could escape out of the fire escape. They do look old and rusted at this point, given just the amount of rain that New Serenity gets. So there might be some danger associated with that as necessary.
You know where Isaac died?
In Myriad Crossing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in an alley in Myriad Crossing.
The only other question I have is, are there any other people around, or are we the only people outside right now?
It's pretty raining heavily. You do notice maybe like a couple cars that are driving down the street, but no one's outside currently. And most of the windows are closed, and or like the blinds are slightly turned open, but most people are inside. You see lights have been flickered on, people inside reading, cooking a late night a meal after work, things like that. But no one's outside currently.
So this ability essentially only takes a couple of seconds, and then Thursday exhales and their eyes go back to normal. And I imagine it's the same time that Charles kind of comes out of the car. And then Thursday will slowly begin to walk towards the building and tell Charles, looks like the coast is clear. No one's really around. And then basically describe the rooftop access.
All right, that's good to know. Thanks. I meant to read over all those notes, but I guess I fell asleep.
Eileen's gonna step out of the car and say, "Yeah, sorry about that." And as she steps out, you see this like flickering, glittering light appear at her feet, and it bounds around for a bit. But once it finally settles, you see the shape of a very small, like perfectly round little bunny. Its features are very difficult to look at because it is light, so it's hard to perceive in that way. But there is a small little bunny rabbit at Eileen's feet. I just figured I should put that on the board.
Akechi crouches down to try and pet the bunny.
I think you can. I do think you can pet the bunny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just gonna give the bunny little scritch on the top of their head.
Yeah. Yeah, as I say, he's very happy. You would all know that this is Cariño. This is my pet bunny.
My like silly little brain is like Akechi's wearing sunglasses while it's raining outside, so like can probably be the only person who actually looks at your bunny. And I'm imagining that your bunny is kind of like when you get a cat wet, they just look like a rat, right? They just look like a rat. And I'm just imagining your bunny looking like a rat to Akechi, but everyone else is like, oh, fluffy. But the fluffy is like all light
matte
and stuff.
wet.
Yeah. I will say it isn't as harsh as like pure light. It's not like looking at the
Like
sun.
fun.
It's more like looking at like a lamp with a lampshade, if we're talking about like intensity. But yes, no, I definitely think Akechi can see through the fuzz. Because that's very funny.
Oh, I'll head over to the apartment and pull out the keys that
Yeah, of course.
I was given.
Yeah. You kind of pull out the two sets. You quickly find the slot as you open them up. It opens up the front door, and you're hit with a waft of just spices and warm smells. Someone's cooking up a storm somewhere on one of the floors. It feels like home. It is a very different energy from outside or through any of the parts of the city that you've drone through. This place seems lived in. It seems like there's age to it, and it seems like there's hearth and home here.
Oh, that smells so good.
Yeah, no, I'm realizing I haven't eaten yet, so gonna do that once we get back from this.
I mean, you have your jelly beans.
You do have your
that
jelly
can tide me
beans.
over me. That can tide me over. They stick their hand to their pocket and pull out another handful of jelly beans and put it in their mouth.
When you mentioned that you're hungry, Thursday looks down at a bag that's like attached to their thigh. They look like they're considering something, but then she changes her mind.
Cariño is instantly by your foot, like nose up, seemingly kind of doing that little sniff thing.
And Thursday's just kind of looking like, you know how some people don't know what to do with kids and they're just kind of like awkward? Thursday's like that towards your bunny.
You can feed him. It's not going to really do anything, but...
All right. And then Thursday pulls out this little Ziploc bag and it's got a really sad looking sandwich in it. And then kind of like breaks off. It's like half eaten. And breaks off a little corner of it and offers it to Cariño.
I think you see Cariño's like mouth open just a little bit. It's just more bright light. And then he closes his mouth around the sandwich and it's warm. And then it's gone. But you don't feel him chew or anything.
Yeah. I look away. I don't want to be flashbanged by your bunny rabbit.
Alex, dumb question.
Yeah, no dumb questions here. What's up?
So with the keys being pulled out to open the door and everything, you mentioned earlier that there was like a keychain with like a microphone or something on it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that something recognizably tied to a certain place that either Charles would know about or maybe Eileen would be aware of?
As you noticed them before, it doesn't look like it's specifically tied to a place. It does look like a knickknack of some form that someone had picked up because they enjoy potentially singing or music. Yeah, in that regards. So it's
Okay.
not tied to one place.
Got it. Cool.
Personalized tchotchke for a medical student.
Actually, walk
Then
in.
Charles will start heading up to the actual apartment.
Okay. Just to clarify, all 4 of you are heading up.
Yes.
You make your way up these old oak stairs. They creak, almost as if they're going to give way as you make your way up. They have not been repaired in quite some time, but there's love in these walls. There are frames and freshly painted walls of different families and different designs for the people who've lived here. As you make your way up to the 4th floor, you actually notice the specific apartment number here pointing to the street. So basically, the apartment of the Garcias is facing the street where you had just parked. So as you kind of make it up to the door is still locked. As you kind of slide the key into the slot to unlock the door. As you open it up, there are no lights on in this current apartment, as it seems as if Sarah Beth hasn't been home since the morning. And the place looks not as much of a disarray as you would expect. The kitchen seems disused as you step into the space, as the entryway is right next to this kind of half kitchen with an island. You see a small eating area with like a dining table. There's a lot of papers on the dining tables that you can see from here. I can't get much detail until you step fully into the space. You notice that there are 4 doors in the back area of this kind of like dining room / living room, assuming leading into other bedrooms and or bathrooms. Those doors are actually all closed currently, but you all step into the space. It smells of dried wood, a little bit of the dankness from the rain seeping in through the old windowsills, and it's pretty dark in here, honestly. But you can easily flip on a switch, and it kind of hums to life as the buzz of the kind of lights illuminate the space.
I think
Flip
Thursday's
on a switch.
Oh, okay. You can see Thursday just kind of instinctually goes to turn on the light, but then stops when you do that. Turns away and then moves over towards the table and is just like kind of putting pressure on one corner of the table to see if it's wobbly. Almost out of instinct, not seeming to realize they're doing it.
It is not wobbly.
Okay.
Thursday, what are you doing?
Huh? Oh. The table's balanced.
Good
That's good.
to know. Did Sarah Beth actually give us a list of things to get for her?
Yeah, she specifically stated from her like bedroom, the one that has like a little painted, the doors painted kind of a soft green, basically just like a run-of-the-mill clothes, like basically like her charger, her sweats, some pants, t-shirts, basically the comfiest things that she has. Basically, she also said if nothing's like clean, then like whatever you can find, basically. But nothing too much of import outside of that.
Eileen will raise a hand and say, I'll go take care of it. I'll go get her things.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Charles is gonna try to look for the office and look around there.
Yeah, of course.
I will also say, Alex,
Yeah.
Eileen is going to go get Sarah Beth's things.
Mhm.
She is also going to try to snoop in Isaac's room, but we can get there when we get there.
Sure, of course. As we have some direction for the half of the crew, what are the other 2 members of the crew going to do before I start breaking down the investigation?
I'll look around.
Sure.
I think it's definitely not half-hearted, but fully aware that this part of stuff isn't his forte, but he might as well at least attempt to pull his weight.
Fair.
And we'll look around like the first room, like the kitchen area.
Okay.
See if we can find anything that might be of use.
And Thursday, anything on your end?
I think it's up to you, Drac, but
Sure,
I
what's up?
think like Thursday and Akechi both like probably know that this is out of our forte, and we both are just kind of like picking up pieces of paper, looking at them, putting them back down. Like the vibe is like, I think that's the vibe of the living room right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Thursday kind of gives up very quickly because Thursday is not an investigator whatsoever. And they'll do some like kind of mundane stuff of like seeing if the sink works, looking inside the fridge, seeing if the oven works, kind of like what someone who's a handy person would do. That's just what they're doing.
Okay. All right. So we'll jump to Eileen first. Eileen, you head over to the kind of green door, as mentioned, the softer green door. It's not locked as you open it up, and you head into what you assume to be Sarah Beth's room. It is actually, it is very similar to your room. In nature.
That's okay.
It has a lot of like, how do I describe this? The word we described in our kind of like day in the life was like a nest, right? So there's like lots of things kind of, it's not like messy, I would say, but there's just like a lot to it. And I think the thing that strikes you the most as you kind of step into space is that there are like basically like frame posters of singers that have gone through like New Serenity and things like that. Definitely a fan of kind of jazz singers and things like that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, fun. That's something for us to talk about. Yeah, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna gather up the things that she listed. As I'm walking around, I'm also me and Carino, because working together. I'm tapping on furniture. I'm shuffling my foot around for loose floorboards. I'm looking to see if there's secret compartments in drawers and dressers. I'm looking for boxes hidden, anything like that.
Yeah, of course. As you two are kind of pervading the space, Carino at one point kind of sticks its head back outside of the bed, beneath the bed, and kind of nudges towards you and kind of hops back underneath the bed. It sits on top of a floorboard, and it kind of just points down with its face.
Good boy. And then I'm gonna like gently scoop him up, so move him out of the way, and I'm gonna pull open that floorboard.
Yeah, of course. You pull it up. It seems to have, like, a couple of nails have been removed, and you notice a small shoebox inside. A pretty common affair in most homes like this.
Yeah, absolutely. What's in the shoebox?
Yeah, there is some personalized adornments. There's like a ticket to go see a show at the Enigma Lounge, which is interesting. There's a couple
Sarah
of
Beth would have the ticket. Okay.
yeah, Sarah Beth has it, which is interesting. There's a couple of more tickets to other show houses across Miri Crossing and downtown. You know their names, but there's nowhere of like major import that you know. Additionally, you see a single notebook. It's like a smaller, probably personal journal of sorts. But she had not called this out as something she wanted to bring with her.
Okay, well, I'm gonna look at it.
Of course. Well, of course. You kind of flip through the pages. It is a mix and match. Actually, interestingly enough, as you kind of look through the pages and kind of skim through first before just reading the first page, you notice that it kind of actually spans multiple years. The writing style slowly changes over time. There's multiple different pens used. It's not written in often, and it's dated in terms of when, and it spans for about 3-ish years or so. So closer to when Sarah Beth had begun college. But a lot of it, as you kind of flip through and you don't spend too much time on every single page, because there is a decent amount of pages in this little book, talks about kind of balancing the life of living up to her brother's expectations, while also still wanting to find something for herself. And that she's truly fallen in love with music, and she's truly fallen in love with performing, and that she joined the school choir and things like that. And her brother was very supportive, and she lived this kind of dual life for quite some time, until the recent year where once her and her brother started to get more bad terms, they started fighting a lot more about her future and what that means for her and her family and things like that. Not a new story to someone like you, but definitely one that resonates to some degree.
Okay. I'm gonna put it back. She got any nice jewelry?
A couple. There's a nice jewelry box.
I take a pair of earrings and I put them in my pocket.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go check Isaac's room.
Sure. Okay. As you were doing that, we're gonna hop over to Charles as you kind of go in that space. Charles, you kind of open up some of the other accompanying doors, and you notice one leads into Isaac's room. You kind of leave it ajar in case someone else wants to check. One opens up into like a bathroom that seems to be shared between the two of them, and the last door is into the office that seems to be solely dedicated to be Isaac's kind of place of working from home when he, is not at the office. You notice in this space, there's no windows, which is rough, but based on the design of the building, there's going to be some rooms that don't have any windows. In it is a single L-shaped desk made of a nicer reddish wood, a wooden kind of, to be honest, pretty bad for posture sitting chair. You notice that this room has tons of boxes, like very large, basically files stacked to the top. There's probably like 16 to 18 of them. They take up most of the space. Something that is also quite jarring is you notice that there are also drawings on the table and the walls that have been pinned with like little tacks. It looks like a whirlwind of notes and personalized art, basically.
Okay. Does the art seem related to the notes?
As you kind of step into the space, kind of flick on one of the lights to take a better look at the art, the art seems quite sporadic. Looks to be drawn with pencil, and there's lots of smudging. It is very gaunt. It is very multiple eyes. It seems like something out of like like a creepypasta, basically.
Okay, so this is not related to the science notes about Panacea.
No, it doesn't seem like the drawings themselves don't seem like immediately related. There are some like graphs and some additional like medical and chemical related charts and stuff that are in the space as well, like alongside the drawings, but anything that's like personally stenciled by pencil and hand, not related, or at least not immediately related.
Okay, I'm gonna gather together a lot of these drawings that seem weird.
Sure.
I'm also looking for a picture of Janik, the lab partner.
Yeah.
To see if I recognize them. Maybe they're awake and Charles has like seen them around before or something. But basically just kind of to see if like I know who this person is at all, or if I recognize them.
Yeah, of course. As you kind of go through the space, you get closer to a bookshelf that has like some personal adornments. You notice a small frame with two mask-presenting individuals. One who has a similar kind of facial structure and smile and kind of energy to Sarah Beth, kind of linked arms with another individual. This person stands a little bit taller than who you assume to be Isaac. You know Isaac. Sorry, apologies. Yeah. And this person stands around 6'1", a bit of a skinnier build. Has blonde hair that kind of falls short of kind of like a middle part. They both seem to be holding beers. They're probably outside of like a beer garden or some form like that. They both seem pretty in well spirits. You're assuming this is Janik, just given that there's no other real like personal adornments in this space. Could be someone else, but seems to be like one of the closer persons in Isaac's life. You have never seen this person before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm also, before I start just rifling through boxes.
Yeah. Of course.
Computers, phones, anything of that sort around.
As you kind of take a time to look through the space, you don't see any like computer phone on hand. You do kind of rifle through some of the drawers, and you find a personal planner.
Okay, let's open that up.
Yeah, of course. As you're kind of like, before rifling through all the boxes, you kind of flip through the planner, you kind of jump to this week. You notice, or at least the weeks leading up to this and this week, there's a standing meeting on Sundays for lunch with someone known as Cassie.
Okay.
Addition-
Were there any... Oh, go for it.
You also notice that there is a meeting this coming Friday morning. It's Wednesday night, just as FYI, to meet in North Point. With who? Does not say. North Point being the district closer to the harbor that is mostly industrial. No one really goes around there, and its danger levels on the city map is pretty high.
I'm gonna imagine that Isaac didn't color code like his meetings and stuff. Like pink was Cassie, like blue was lab stuff.
If there's any color coding, it's built into the planner itself. So it's just like for the day of the week or something like that. So no, he did not, unfortunately.
Okay. 2 questions, one of which is probably a quick no. Going back in the planner for looking for like the first Cassie note, is there like a number or anything? But also, I guess, how long has this meeting with Cassie been going?
Yeah, of course. As you kind of flip through the earlier stages of the planner, as it goes back for quite some time, it's been going on for about 3 months or so, maybe 2.5 months. There is not a number on the planner, unfortunately. It goes about 2.5, 3 months.
Okay. Were there any meetings or anything on the day that Isaac died?
No, nothing specific. No.
Okay.
Normal day at work.
At
At least on his personal planner, maybe not his like work like calendar.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna put the planner with the drawings, and then I'm gonna start looking through the boxes. I probably do a quick scan just to see like, oh, is this science bullshit? Okay. And then like set that down. But specifically, I'm looking, maybe there were some papers or like something hidden in some of these boxes. Maybe just resting on top of like the science papers and then like box closed or something on the sides, anything like that.
Okay. It is a lot of paperwork, so you begin to kind of open up one and kind of parse through some of the information. You see at the top of one of the boxes the name of this supposedly drug and or pharmaceutical panacea that Isaac has been working on. It's called Tacrodine, and I. For ease of use and because of clues and such, more than willing to make an investigation check here to kind of help speed you through the process of looking through this stuff. And then you can just ask me a direct question. So please feel free to roll plus power, any associated tags or story tags that could help here. And then from there, well, you can ask me a question.
Okay. Do I have anything that I think would work well, is the question.
The story tag of Serene should support here.
Okay, Serene, I'll take it. Yeah. And then... community organizing, I might be familiar with paperwork and stuff.
I'll allow it.
I've got.
I'll allow it.
Thank you.
The tags are flexible for that reason.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Can tags so the story tags that I generated from Change the Game, they were kind of like specifically like geographically oriented. Does this game allow for story tags to like be just vaguely interpreted? So like, can prepared be something that Charles taps into? Because like we could say we have a folio that like gave us hints. Does it work like that?
Yeah. A director master ceremonies discretion, but for the sake of the story here, I'll allow it. So you can use that as well if you prefer. We're here to support each other, you know.
Sure. So I have +3 then, I think, if
Yep.
that works right. Okay.
Correct.
And then I'll roll investigate. I rolled a 12.
Oh, you rolled a 12. Okay. That's great. So for sure, you get to ask me 3 questions that I have to answer, honestly, in regards to some of the context of the kind of information here and in the folio. So you get multiple clues. And I don't believe, currently I don't believe Dynamite is included here. So yeah.
Okay.
Questions.
First
And nothing
question.
bad happens to y'all.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, is there anything hidden in the office?
Okay, that's a great one. I am going to say yes, there is something hidden. And as you're kind of pushing some of the boxes out of the way, you actually notice at a trash bin. At the bottom of the trash bin, there are multiple receipts to bars and different places of work, like the Enigma Lounge that you've already confirmed with some of Marco's notes. Interestingly enough, one of the tickets to the Enigma Lounge has the name Cassandra Emmerich on it.
Cassie.
Nice roll.
Cassandra Emmerich?
Yeah.
And she's connected with the Enigma Lounge?
Correct.
Is she somebody that I know?
Not that you off the top of your head. Potentially the name could be someone who rotates in and out because the lounge does have
Okay.
multiple acts. You guys aren't always there.
Yeah.
But potentially. No, not a headliner. No one like to the degree of Eileen or anything like that, but
Okay.
someone who does come through.
If you all have any ideas of questions I can ask.
Yeah, feel free. I'm down for the crew to support. We're here as a team.
Liv, what
unit.
do you think?
I'm thinking. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I see a homie in chat.
It's all good. It's all good.
Hi, Moto.
Mojo.
Hi, Mo.
Okay. So, questions. We
Oh,
asked
Lorraine,
if
hi,
there's
everyone.
We asked if there was anything hidden.
hidden. Asked if anything could be hidden.
Is there anything dangerously confidential? Here.
Okay. Interesting that you mentioned that. As you were doing that,
Ooh.
you are pulling through these files, and they start to seem like general test trials for Tacrodine. But then as you get closer and deeper into the files and the different pieces of these boxes, you notice that something's a little off. Not everything seems to be generally up to standard or quota. There seems to be some corner cutting in terms of like when it's being pushed for specific trials, and you do actually find a trial listing of individuals. That seems a little off.
Does that... Okay. Then, is it like names and numbers of these people, or like what information is on there?
Just their first names and their last names, and when they went into the trial.
Okay.
The timings is very sporadic. One of the names, actually no. I mean, it's just a list.
You can give us that information, Alex. It's okay.
I would clarify one quick clarification. Would you show this list to the rest of the group?
Yeah, I'm gonna put the list with like the other evidence or like notable things.
All right, let me DM one of the players really quick, and we'll see if there's a shared
That is
thought.
so
We'll see
strange and
who-
scary.
Is Alex's favorite.
I know, right? I guess. Okay, I had another question.
Yep.
Maybe this isn't a good one, but Emma, feel free to take it if you want it.
Okay.
Any weapons, like anything to show that maybe he was like on edge? change, or this was something he was
Oh.
like expecting. You know?
That's a great question.
Oh, thank you. I do what I.
I've DM'd the
Brain is
person,
huge.
and
It
then
wasn't me.
subsequently, there is no weapon. No, there does not seem to be any specific like weapon, at least in this office and in the household specifically. You do know that as you're kind of like parsing through like closer to another trash bin, a lot of the other like file folders and stuff, there are a lot of these drawings, a lot of these hand like drawn drawings. Like, probably
Yeah.
as much as the files that are in the boxes, which this person has probably been drawing a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna gather up all those drawings and the planner and the little note about Cassandra, and the trial stuff, and take it all out to the living room, I think.
Okay. Before that happens, and before Eileen makes their way into Isaac's room, we're going to jump back to Akechi and Thursday, who are kind of in this space. You two are kind of, as mentioned by Thursday, you're kind of going around checking the different things, making sure that everything runs properly. They have a like, fully functioning kitchen. The water isn't bad. Like there's a minor leak. Up to you if you actually want to fix it or not, but nothing too out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I'm not quiet about it either. You see Thursday drop down onto a knee and pull off their belt. There's like a loud thunk as they put it down on the ground, and they begin to pull out tools and they fix it right on the spot.
Okay. You begin to start fixing the pipes. You notice something as you fix the pipes.
Oh.
This is actually really funny that your character does this type of stuff. You notice that the leak, there's kind of a viscous fluid leaking out. It is not water.
Oh. I'll take a paper towel and basically soak it up and inspect it, smell it.
It's like it maybe like rust-like in color potentially. Like, kind of like a copperish brown to kind of darker orange tones. In terms of the smell, it smells very metallic. It doesn't seem to be like normal runoff. Maybe like the pipes wouldn't break down like this, right? Like it wouldn't become some kind of viscous fluid in this regards. So.
Oh. This is
Akechi, despite their size, almost silently is right beside you, crouched, looking at this.
this
What is that?
I don't know, but this isn't normal. Oh, can you grab me some Tupperware? I think I saw
Yeah.
one in the cabinet there.
I'll head over and grab some Tupperware if I can find any in the cabinets, and I think just like toss it over to Thursday.
I catch it, and like I look super cool and buff when I do that.
Again, Akechi doesn't look impressed or phased at all. Just very run-of-the-mill, everyday thing.
Essentially, I'd like to try to collect as much as I can of this fluid into the Tupperware and then close it, seal it.
Sure. You get maybe like a tablespoon's amount. It's not too much. And you tighten the pipe. Something that I will say you and Akechi both notice, because it is pretty visibly, well, not visibly perceptible, is you hear a hissing sound
Can I tell where it's coming from?
inside the pipe.
Does it sound like something hissing because of pressure, or does it sound like an animal?
It sounds. Sorry, I just read the snake milk comment. It sounds in reaction to you tightening the pipe.
Okay.
It's now visibly sounding like it's coming from the drain of the sink.
Okay.
I don't know why I keep on saying visibly. Apologies. It's coming from the sound is
Okay.
coming from the sink.
I will dismantle the sink so I can see what's up with this.
Okay. I'm
In a
assuming you're
way
dismantling
that-
it from the bottom, like the pipes in the bottom.
Yeah, Stella isn't a handy person.
That's okay.
Thursday does this every single day. Thursday knows how to what's the snake milk coming from.
Sure. You take out your handy dandy wrench. and you begin unbolting the bottom piece. You take out like an L-shape part of the pipe. You notice like a lot of gunk and extra like material just kind of plop onto the inside of the bottom of the sink area. This has not been.
No, not
Sure.
in my hand, in the Tupperware.
Oh yeah, okay. I was like, sure, yeah.
I don't want to touch this.
Thursday a freak.
Thursday starts just like sucking on their fingers. Thursday just built.
You can't just suck off straight snake milk.
You
Stop
can't
it!
finger your car. You can't suck up a sink. With catch you watching every single time. You're gonna send the wrong message.
Turn around. Why are you watching this? Nah. But yeah.
You do catch some of like the viscera as it ends in the actual like Tupperware. Once again, it's still like probably like refuse from like past cooking, old meals. They just like threw down the drain. Very bad management of the sink. You should not be doing this. If you're doing this at home, don't do this. You kind of move that out of the way. You see something in the pipe that connects into the actual floor that goes deeper into the system start to move slowly away from you.
I catch
Living.
it.
You stick your hand in there?
Yeah. I grab it.
Okay. You stick your hand as best as you can into the pipe to grab it.
Okay, look,
you
Stella
feel something...
would never, ever in a million years, but Thursday is not afraid of pipe.
You throw...
Sorry.
You... Your hand goes inside and you grab something. Wow, this is not getting better. Slightly gelatinous.
I try to pull it out.
You pull out what seems to be a slug of some form.
Okay.
What is that?
Grab a
It's
bag.
about 5 inches long. It doesnn't seem to have like like slugs usually have like the little eye like socket things. It seems more like a leech almost.
Okay.
I grab a bag immediately. I think I grab another bit of Tupperware actually. Just grab
It hisses
Tupperware.
at you as you pull it out.
I throw it into a container.
Sure.
Close it shut before you can try to close it shut before it tries to do anything.
Okay. It just wiggles around inside the container, one of the extra Tupperwares you pulled down.
Does it look natural?
It looks like a leech that's the size of like a soda can, if
Like
that's
a-
natural.
If okay, no, that's not natural.
That's not natural.
What the fuck is this?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay. As that happens, Eileen, you're making your way into Isaac's bedroom across the way.
What weird shit am I gonna find in Isaac's bedroom? We've already found a thick, sticky ass slug in this man's pipes. What else freak shit is he hiding?
I would say that you and Charles kind of leave the same space that you were kind of like investigating at the same time. Just kind of looking around the spaces. Step out, you do hear Akechi and Thursday being like, "What the fuck is this?"
Are you all?
Do you want to go deal with that? Do you want to go check that out?
I'll go help.
Okay, thank you, Charles.
No problem.
Okay. Charles, you head on over. And Eileen, you begin to head to Isaac's room. Charles, you see this slug creature inside this Tupperware.
What the hell is that?
Flicking viscera off of my hand.
Don't lick that.
What? Flicking.
Yeah.
Flicking.
Oh, I thought you said lick.
No.
The F didn't come through. The F didn't come through.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. It was in the sink.
Thursday pulled it out.
I mean, I met Isaac. His power didn't have any slug stuff, did it?
Nope. Isaac's abilities
Okay, I
were
didn't
very
think
simple
so.
plant manipulation and plant growth. Nothing as nothing like this.
It was hissing at me.
Well, I don't like that. Does it seem chill now, or what's it doing?
It is currently like latching itself onto the side of the Tupperware, and it's like kind of pulling back and latching itself against the Tupperware.
Does it have
more.
teeth?
Yeah, it does.
I'm going to get another bit of Tupperware and just put it inside that
Do
as well.
you
Just
do you
double,
wanna-
double it up.
call
Sarah
Sarah Beth and see if this is like a pet or if she knows anything?
Thursday does the antisocial thing and texts Sarah Beth instead and says, "Hey, do you know anything about a slug?"
You immediately get a response back. What?
Yes
Question mark,
or
question
no?
mark, question. No? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Charles, I think that's a negative.
All right. Do we have, as people who are awake, do we
Yeah.
have the power to like recognize when something is something to do with that world?
Generally
Or
speaking,
does it just look like normal to us, kind of?
Generally speaking, yes. You would, and it would take a little bit of time to acclimate because like the perception has to like kind of switch between the two. So I would say at this point in time, like after you've like captured it, made sure it's all okay, and like have truly taken a look at it, this is an offshoot of an awakening or a myth of some form.
You'll see me
Okay.
like
Sure.
pull out my screwdriver and I'll like poke holes in the top so it can breathe in case it needs to.
Oh, you do that?
No? No.
No,
Too
no, I
late.
don't.
You poke one hole in, it starts to slowly make its way out of the Tupperware. As
Oh,
I will
bends
put
grab
it
its
in the
body.
second Tupperware that
I'll
Keshi said that they already took out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Okay,
You nesting
Yeah,
doll
let's
it.
not
Okay.
do that.
You nesting
Let's
doll it.
not.
Okay.
Shit,
Yeah.
I'm
It
just trying to be humane.
as you nesting doll it, it does basically push its entire shape through this very small, like pin-sized hole, and then reforms itself above the first piece of Tupperware. And now it's in the second Tupperware box. Kind of moves around.
Okay. Great. I don't think I can nesting
love
doll this
that.
anymore. This is the biggest one I could find. Do
Um,
you want me to store this away so we can look at it later, or should I keep it out here?
Thursday's just like gesturing emphatically, just shrugging and washing their hands at the sink after they put it back together.
Okay.
think-
I am going to use my ability.
Ooh.
As you see, as they say this and see Thursday's reaction of like, just do something with it. You see a catchy shadow, kind of almost like time passing, the sun moving across the sky. A catchy shadow kind of shift around to be in front of them, and they'll take the kind of Tupperware with this slug creature in it, and as if they're about to set it down on the ground, but as they do, it goes through his shadow as he puts it in his shadow realm, his kind of pocket dimension that he has within his shadow to keep it there. for
That's
it.
awesome.
I can roll for it, but it's a tag and ability I have.
Yeah, I don't think you really need to because you're not like it's a stationary object. It's not like currently causing you harm. I'll allow you to just do it, you know. So, yeah, okay. You place this thing in the shadow realm.
What does it look like on our end? Does just a hole open up and you just put your hand in it or something?
No, so it looks like my shadow cast on the ground by the lights kind of shifts as if some light source was moving, so that the shadow was in front on the ground in front of me, and I bend down as if I'm about to put it on the ground, but instead of hitting the ground, it goes through my shadow into some void space, and then I put my hand out
Your
again.
shadow's the door. Okay.
Yeah, my shadow is at the door itself. As I kind of almost just dust my hands, almost as if, even though I'm touching it through the Tupperware, I'm still kind of grossed out by it. So I just kind of wipe my
I
hands
turned the
on
sink
my...
on for you. Oh, don't put that on your clothes.
Yes. Thank you.
I
and then-
push the soap thing for you to give you some soap,
Yeah,
and then I hand you a
They're very-
towel.
very diligent about their hand washing. They go through the proper procedure. They get between the nails, between the fingers, all of that stuff. And all dry and wash it and dry their hands. We can take a look at that another time somewhere else. I think maybe somewhere more secure.
Yeah. Thursday, could I get your help? I want to make sure you found that in the sink.
Yep, right here.
Do we want to check the bathroom sink as well, just to make sure?
Yeah, we can do.
All right.
I'll gather up my belt, my tools, and sling it over my shoulder. Really cool looking. Then I walk over.
We're checking the bathroom.
Okay. Y'all head over to the bathroom, and as you do so, Eileen, we head over to. You head over to Isaac's room, as you make your way into the space. It's very well kept, actually. Everything seems to be like perfectly in place. It is a very, it's very and vastly different than his office, which has papers everywhere that you could kind of get a quick peek of when you pass by it after Charles leaves the space. You notice that there's not much personality in the space. There's a couple of plants sitting at the windowsill that have stayed alive, but most of it is pretty run-of-the-mill, almost like stuff out of IKEA. But you can still search for the space if you'd like.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna let Carino go free and just let him do his thing and search everywhere. And essentially, we are going to rip this place apart. We are going to look under every possible thing, search every single section. Same situation as before.
Yeah, of course. You search the entire space. Can't really find much on the surface level at all. If you would like to make an investigation check, you are more than allowed to, but up to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to make an investigation check. So, the tags I'm hoping that I can use, Carino has like a perception investigation sort of tag, like sensitive ears. I'm hoping as he bounds around, he can hear for again, loose floorboards, echoes from empty spaces, things like that, like where they shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
And then I myself have an intimate knowledge of the underbelly. So my thought process, my thinking is that I know where people try to hide things. You know what I mean? When people want to get away with crimes, where they would put stuff like that.
Okay. Then I will allow for both of those.
Now, could I also use my pickpocketing skill? Is there anything locked?
I would say that if you turn the entire place over, you realize there's nothing locked. I would say there's nothing in the space that's locked.
Okay. That's 2 tags.
Okay. Feel free to.
Oh, let's go. I got a 12.
Oh, shit. Okay. Nothing bad happens to y'all. These are great rolls. What are the
Why do you keep saying that, huh?
Why do you want something bad to happen?
If you roll 7 to 9, I can make bad things happen to y'all. So with a 12, what would your 2 questions like to be? Because you use 2 power tags and you get 2 clues.
Okay, I know this guy. I've seen him before, at least, right?
Yeah, passing through the House of Fair Omens because you live there. So.
Yeah, House of Fair Omens, and then also Enigma Lounge.
Potentially, yeah. I would say you probably remember his face. I wouldn't say he comes all the time. He's not a regular, so.
Okay, that's fair then. Let me see. 1 second.
Take your time.
I guess I'm gonna look to see if there's. How to put this? Is there anything of value that is hiding, right? Sometimes when people are going to make a run for it or they're on the run or something like that, they might stash money or goods, or maybe if there's something that he's ashamed of that he doesn't want his sister to find out about, maybe more on a personal level. Is he hiding bills that are overdue, things like that?
Yeah, of course. You kind of turn the entire place over. So to answer that first question, with the help of Carino, you find not a secret spot, but you do find 2 envelopes that have been shoved as best as they can between a crevice in the wall. So basically, you have to like basically pull it out as best as you can. You don't even know how Isaac got it in there. The first letter you find is, you know this quite well for personal reasons. There's the seal of the Morgenstern family on it, in gold wax. The M and the S.
What does it say?
It's already been opened. It's broken. It is about a recent payment that's been missing.
Yup, that definitely is a familiar letter. Okay.
The second letter, as you open it up, this one seems to be has like a. It doesn't seem to seems to have like a post address. It just seems to be from a local jewelry store. It talks about how that Isaac's credit rating has been approved, and that he can come in and purchase a ring if he'd like.
Oh no. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is not good. Okay. Oh god. Oh no. Oh, I'm so nervous. Okay, I'm gonna throw up. This is... Oh, Isaac, you didn't sell yourself out to the Morganson family to propose to a singer. I know you didn't. My dog, my man. No. She don't love you, Isaac. Okay. Actually, no, that's my second question.
You said you should
Oh,
love
what
you.
is the second question? What is the second question?
That is my second question. I'm looking for any signs of a lover. I'm looking for any signs of a lover, anything like an extra toothbrush, extra clothes. I'm looking for all of it.
You look throughout this entire space as best as you can. I will say that there is not a single thing here that belongs to another person. Other than maybe Sarah Beth, but...
Lonely ass man trying to buy a ring for who? Okay, anyway.
And as we get close to the end of the session, because it is 11, Akechi, as you are in the kind of living room space, as the others go into the bathroom to check if there's anything else in that area, you notice something. You spend a lot of time walking about the city, the First Ward, and downtown, and things like that. You have an eye for things, because watching and waiting is something that is important to your job as a community manager.
Yeah.
And as the doors to all these different rooms have been opened, and as the team is kind of going about pulling information, the one thing you notice is that all the blinds in this apartment are shut, except for the one in the living room that faces towards the street. And it faces to an opposite building.
I will, as casually as I can, I'll walk. I think not even casually. I think if I can, I'll try to look out the window without being visible through it.
Sure. As you look out across the way in the rain as it patters against the window, as reflections of light and shadows dance in the dark shades of University Row, you see across the way another window that is not blinded currently. And you see movement. Someone watches. And that is where we'll end the first episode of Fair Omens.
Oh boy.
Yes, Costello.
Thank you so very much. That was episode 1 of Fair Omens. This is a limited series of 5 episodes. We will be back on Thursday, June 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But before we go, we're going to do some outros here. Please tell me who you are, where we can find you, and what your favorite part of today's episode was. And we'll start off with Drac.
Yeah, hi, I'm Drac or Draconics. You can find me on socials at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQES. I'm a TTRPG producer, actually play performer, TTRPG writer, everything and anything TTRPG related I am doing or will be doing. And today I played Akachi Duru, the community manager. And my favorite part, I think, today, I generally think it was Danny being like boss, and then Thursday and Akachi both turning around I thought that was so funny, and I immediately thought of it, and then Stella also thought of it, and I love that we're the same wavelength with that. I think that was my favorite part for sure.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Emma!
Hi, it's me, Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me at Emma Panada, all the places where I am, and I'm making all the witches. And that's a game that will hopefully be done soon. I played Charles tonight, the community manager without quotation marks, and part-time barista and musician. My favorite part, this is a really small interaction, but I just thought it was really funny when we all got out to Thursday's car and the whole thing of Eileen not wanting to sit in the back seat and Thursday being like, "Oh well, you have to," and then opening the door, and that was fun. Some great characterization, and I had a great time.
Thank you. Our game master, the director, Alex.
Hello. You catch me at Ghost Chicken RPG. My name's Alex. I was the director for this first film episode, and everybody else, basically. You can catch me doing game design, game testing, playing skirmish games, and potentially publishing a anti-colonial pirate game next year. And favorite part, whenever I get to use the inhale voice, the first of men. Like that kind of voice, that's my favorite. So that was fun. I gotta rep that today. I haven't done it in a minute. So yeah, I'll pass it over.
Liv.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liv. I am an actual play and TTRPG performer. You can really, unfortunately, probably find me easiest on Twitter. That is where I tend to post announcements for my shows. I do a couple of different things, so please give me a follow and support those other projects as well. There's lots of stuff I do. If one of them doesn't fit your fancy, I promise you there's another show that probably would. Tonight I played Eileen St. James, the cabaret singer who now I guess is also an investigative detective, which she likes more than her other job, which is also a barista. And I think my favorite part of today was genuinely the investigation. I have 4 pages of notes based off of the investigative work that we did. I am so locked in. It's not even fucking funny. Stella.
Hi, I'm Stella Stella Luna on Twitch, Stella Luna TV on all other social media. Today I played Thursday, who I thought it was so funny that I was just like, yeah, Thursday does the handy person thing and fixes the stuff, and hey, got a clue from that. We got a weird little guy. We'll figure out what that's all about later. I'm a TTRPG producer and performer. I do this stuff all the time. The best way to catch up with what I'm doing and keep in touch is to check me out on Twitter or to hop into our Discord where we post announcements for any future games, etc. My favorite part of today, I really liked how the characters, so y'all won't understand because you weren't there at the session, Zero, but everyone really embodied their characters very well. I feel like everyone played it so perfectly that we just got dropped into the scene at the very beginning, and we just picked that up very quickly after we all realized, oh yeah, we're supposed to be in this scene.
That's on me.
When you said there were 5 people, I was like, "Oh, okay, that's not us."
Not us.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
There's
Danny's there. And nothing bad will happen to Danny.
Don't say that. Danny's fine.
Listen, you'll have 2 bosses on your ass if anything happens to Danny. Yeah. So kind of, yeah, I had a great time. But thank you so much, everyone in chat. Thank you so much for the juice. Liv got both of them. That's okay. We still got 4 episodes. Maybe we'll get some juice too. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm gonna burn that juice next week. I'm gonna burn it.
Oh yeah, because we might have the Enigma Lounge next week.
Ooh.
Well, 2 weeks
Ooh.
technically.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
time. Yeah. But thank you so much everyone for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye everybody.